Welcome to the Gamer Minute. I'm your host, Ryan Sparks, aka Touched Artist. Welcome to the show. I wanted to just take a minute to say hi to everybody. This is something different. The Gamer Minute will come into full episodes on December 1st. And we'll be doing our old school, I guess you want to say old school, the original format of the show where it was about a minute to 2 minutes long, where we hit you with gaming news every day, Monday through Friday, starting back December 1st. But tonight I'm going to bring on a friend of mine who works with me at the Connection Interruption podcast. We actually just wrapped that show, about 5 minutes ago. And we're going to continue kind of talking about some stuff we talked about on there, but something that we both think is extremely important, and that's mental health in video games. DJ Tay Boogie, welcome to the Gamer Minute.
What's happening, brother? Hey man, didn't I just see you? So
right. Thanks for coming on. I know, like we talked about just recording it and releasing it later, but I was like, we can just do it live and go with it. So for those of you that don't know, Tay and I work together on the Connection Interruption podcast. We just did a show on the Connection Interruption channel and Team Frisch, and just wrapped that show, probably like 5 or 6 minutes ago. So rolling back into this show and trying to talk about some things that usually we don't talk about on Connection Interruption. We try not to get too in depth on certain topics there, but something that both of us think is pretty important is talking about mental health and avoiding that stigma, like being afraid to talk about things that don't always go right, or what's going on and how we can make adjustments. And it's important to have a support team. So we talked a little bit about it on Connection Interruption because it was something that you said you were thankful for, and being able to talk about mental health. But we will kind of dive in right off the bat. We've talked about it a little bit before off camera, but talk about how video games helped you kind of get through some tough times.
Well, I know, like, long story short, I was out of Vegas, shattered my vertebrae in my neck. Had to come home after being in radio and DJing everywhere. So it's like being still really kind of mentally traumatized me. And then from that, getting into a car accident, then my back being messed up. It's like it was putting me in a state of depression. That was like real deep. And on top of other things I was dealing with, like the passing, my brother, But one thing that we always did together was play video games. Like we were video game heads. And that kind of got me to open up and start moving a little bit more. Actually enjoying being a kid again. So it was like, you can't talk to everybody because some people use that against you, or they try to brush it off as, in a passive way, like, hey, okay, But it's like when you sit down and you play video games, you put your mind into a space to where it's like, I feel okay. Not using a video game as a crutch, but it's like, right. Okay, I feel okay. I feel safe here. And it's like you get into a fraternity or a group in a club in high school or something. It's like you feel accepted in the gaming world. And it helps. It definitely helped me because, like, when you're in a dark space, you need something to bring you out, and gaming was it for me.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that's important to find something that can help you kind of get through those rough times. And there's a couple articles out there that are available for people to check out. One that I'll reference right now, I'll put in the chat. But one of the things in this article that kind of struck me is important is flourishing mental health has been defined as a combination of feeling good and functioning effectively resulting in high levels of mental well-being. Like I've never really sat down and been like, okay, like how do I know that that things are going well mental health wise? Like what's the real definition there? And I think like when you feel better about what you've got going on, or you can maybe even forget what's going on in the real world for a little bit, right? Like in order to like kind of do something different. I think it's important to be able to find something that helps you get through those rough times. So, and I know we've talked quite a bit about gaming and it being like a release. And I think it is for a lot of people. It also lets you maybe be somebody that you're not, even for a brief amount of time. Like I'm never going to play in the NBA, but when I play NBA 2K, I'm baller. So, I'm like, I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. Like, and that's music does that for me too. Like, so not just video games, but like I can listen to a song and it can completely change my mood. Right. Like, and games do that for me as well. And I think that's something that, is a lost art in the art of video games. I don't think people really think about it. They're just like, oh, I'm having fun doing this. But in reality, it can kind of take you away from all the things that you've got going on. So I think it's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, even with that, it's like they even use video games now for like doctors and pilots for that eye-hand coordination, the mental stimulation, because it makes your mind work and it separates you from what you're really doing and like what you're doing now. It's like, okay, like instead of going to, I know some people have other vices that they go to and they become addictive. It's like, but with gaming, it's like, all right, I can play this game for an hour or however long, and it makes it easier to come back to the real world because, okay, I just had fun and I didn't have to go anywhere. And I got to release, like, okay, I'm playing UFC and I really got to beat these guys down in the game, so I'm not so angry at work. Like, yeah, so it definitely helps. It definitely helps.
Yeah, I mean, there's an interesting survey according to Nielsen. Like in 2020, over 55% of people picked up video games during the pandemic. So that's over half of Americans turned to video games, essentially based on this article from The Verge. And I think it's really interesting to me because, like, I don't know if we've talked about this at all, but like when I had COVID, like when I was really sick, I played Animal Crossing because it came out right when I got sick. Like it came out that weekend before. I haven't played it since because I associate that, like, and it's such a weird thing, but I was so sick that I associate that game with being sick.
Right, so you got kind of like a PTSD from it.
Yeah. And like I see people really enjoying it. I'm so happy that people are enjoying that game because I think it is a really cool game. Like it got me through a really rough patch physically. Like I was super ill, but I don't want to play it again because of that. Like my brain literally associates that with like stopping every like 20 minutes or so to go vomit, or like, I mean, I just I can't play it. And it won all kinds of awards. And I was like, I'm sure it's great. It was great for me while I was trying to play it and when I wasn't feeling well. And it was kind of a way to like take my mind off the fact that I was so sick. But then like now I can't go back and play it. Like I re-downloaded it on my Switch. And I was like,
still haven't touched it.
I was like, I can't. Like it like even kind of talking about it like brings up like that feeling of like, like I was super, super sick. Gamer Girl 327, thank you for the follow.
372.
372, 327. I got dyslexia, bro. We know this. No, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you.
Where's she from? Gamma Girl 372. Where are you from?
Yeah, where are you from? I put it out on Twitter, so my guess would be probably somewhere in the Twitter sphere. They saw it. New York. Sweet.
Okay. What borough? See, now we can talk to
now we're talking. We're
Far White Queens, baby. So.
Like New York City or New York State? Like, are you in New York? I mean, that's kind of we're all about where people that have stopped in, like, where are you from? What are you doing? So while we're asking those questions, New York State. Okay, so not in New York City. So state. Yeah, all right, cool. So we're talking about mental health in video games and essentially games that kind of take us away to a place or get us away from something, or in my case, like Animal Crossing, I can't play it because it takes me back to when I was sick. Gamer Girl, is there any game that like is your go-to when like you're feeling down and you just need something to play to kind of take your mind off of what's going on in the real world? That I think that's kind of where we're at. That's one of the things that we're talking about today. Is there anything like that for you? And if not, that's cool. But we know like everybody kind of has something. Yeah. So it's interesting, this article from Very Well Mind that talks about studying or playing games during the pandemic and how it helped reduce like depression and anxiety amongst people. I think it's true. Call of Duty Warzone, very cool. Yeah, that's so we like shooters. We do.
Hey, she must be ready to go post at work.
Right. Yeah, right. I mean, and that's something that like it's like, hey, if that gets you out of that, that rut and gets you to playing something else and get your mind off of it, that's cool. That's a cool thing for everybody that's involved. We throw this other article out there just so everybody has it, from verywellminded.com. I think it's an interesting thing to check out if you're looking into to kind of how video games affect your mental health and stuff like that, and how they can kind of change your mood. But I just find it really interesting that people like can really find things that completely take them away. And I think gaming is one of those things for Tay for sure. Right. It does a little bit for me. Music does that. A lot of people, movies do. Like, I have a friend who loves to just go to the movie theater. And during the pandemic, I know it was a struggle because he couldn't go. And he just likes to go to the movie theater and like that sense of like for the 2 hours or whatever that the movie's going on. He's just focused on what's going on in that movie, right? But like, there's a lot of things that can do that for people, and I think that's pretty cool. And one of the things for me that is a big thing is like the way that video games can help other people, not just in the mental health realm, but like physically, like do good, right?
Yeah,
and definitely. As we're in the Thanksgiving season and time here, it's something that a lot of people take for granted. And we talked about this on our other show, like our first world problems. Like we literally are complaining about how bad a game is, but we're sitting there talking about games, right? Like we're here talking about video games and about how those things work for us. And IGN is doing something super cool. And they posted it. It was today, I believe, around lunchtime. They're doing a Friendsgiving charity stream. And it's starting on Tuesday, November 30th, 3 p.m. Pacific. So that's 6 p.m. Eastern time. And they're essentially running this charity stream for the charity No Kid Hungry, which I think is kind of a cool
That's
cool
dope.
charity to give out for. So I'm gonna throw the link in the chat for everybody to do that. Gamer
And
Girl
that's
says I don't play games that much. I like to focus on school. Yeah, no, that's important. Like we talk about like being focused on certain things. Like for us, it's like we have, I have a regular like 8 to 5 job. When I come home, I don't necessarily want to think about that work when I'm home. Like I want to kind of get out of that realm. Sometimes it's just, playing a game with kids or whatever. But watching games or watching people play games on Twitch, like watching different streamers, like that's kind of a cool thing for me. So it's just an interesting way to kind of get out of it.
And that's crazy. Like when I get home, I literally will sit in the car for 30 minutes to an hour, either listening to music or on my phone looking up gaming stuff. Just to kind of unwind because I don't want to take what happened today into the house.
Right. Yeah, I have like almost an hour commute. So for me, that's my decompress before I get in the house. But like I tend to listen to a lot of podcasts or watch a lot of different things. With I guess not watch, but like listen to different shows and podcasts and videos that I'm not watching while I'm driving. They're in the passenger, like I sit the phone in the passenger seat and listen to kind of what they're talking about and different stuff. But yeah, get your head out of it. Gamer Girl, that's it, right? Like, we're definitely like, we play a lot. Like I play quite a bit, but I also play on Switch. Like I take it with me. And that's where the majority of my time gets played. Like sometimes on my lunch break or, at different times. But yeah, we're looking at different ways to just kind of decompress and unwind, and gaming is one of them for us. So,
Gaming Girl, real quick question: what are you in school for?
Yeah, what are you doing? That's a good one. Maybe high school, or if you're in college, what are you studying? Because you might be in college studying something that's like, to be a vet. That's cool.
To be a vet. Oh yeah, so you really don't have time, but when you do have time,
so yeah, so one of those professions that like you're giving back, right? Like you're trying to help people and their animals. Like that's a cool. And I think for a lot of people, if your job is one, or you're studying to be something that is giving back, I think that has a different feel. I mean, Tay and I both worked retail for a very, very long time.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
So like our hearts are with all those retail people this weekend. Like I know I won't be shopping on Friday. I'll actually be working, but I will not be shopping on Friday simply because it's bonkers, and I don't want to add any additional stress to any of those workers or anything they're doing that. But we're really into just the, trying to find new ways for people to unwind. And I think gaming is it. We're looking for ways also to give back. So there's something we talked about, the IGN Friendsgiving. There's the St. Jude Play Live campaign. And we're going to actually put together, as part of the Gamer Minute show, we're going to put together a play group for the St. Jude Play Live campaign, where people can go in and raise money to help St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Definitely give back.
And give back, and we can start a group there. So the Gamer Minute will have that when we go live on our regular shows in December. All that information will be available for everybody that wants to participate and give back. So, Gamer Girl, even if you're not playing a ton, and you want to be part of that'd be cool too. Streaming a little bit here and there, and kind of getting people to give back to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. One thing that's cool about St. Jude, no parent ever gets a bill from St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Ever.
Ever.
Yes.
Um,
That's a beautiful thing, and they
ever.
they really treat their families well, like
Yeah,
and
so
make sure to take care of. So
we're going to be streaming. Tay and I are going to sit and try to figure out a time where we can actually game together and stream. It's probably going to be Madden, isn't it?
no. But hold on, hold on. Look, I was gonna do it. I was gonna do this the other show, but like this is my stack from the last month or so. So it's like, yeah,
we got to get into something. Yeah, I mean, we'll figure out something we can stream and play together and raise money for children. Gamer Girl says, "Dang."
Right.
Yeah, we have a crazy library of games like between the two of us. So, and we're still playing catch up. I mean,
yeah, we way behind.
Yeah, like something in life is going to have to give. I mean, Gamer Girl says I don't have that much.
It's okay. We do this part time for a living, so
yeah. So like we are. Yeah, I mean, I used to be a store manager for GameStop. I worked for the company for a really long time. So I have thousands of games in my library at this point. And my Steam library continues to grow. One way I struggle is because the Game Pass has so many good games on it. The Xbox Game Pass, I'm like, oh, I want to play that. Oh, I want to play that. And I don't have time for that.
Yeah, they started giving me too. I gotta get a bigger external hard drive.
Yeah. So we have a lot of games, and there's some that like we play for 5 or 10 minutes and then they get set aside. So
that's it.
Yeah, and we're trying to get into doing some more reviews and some stuff like that. But as the show progresses through like the Gamer Minute, we're gonna have a bunch of different hot button topics. We're working. Tay's going to do a show in the Gamer Minute realm, in the Gamer Minute world for Touch Artist Studios called Hot or Not.
Yeah.
So he's going to be doing a show basically like, is this hot
or is it
not? Yeah. So like, where are we going to do with that? That show is going to get started probably, I would say, around the same time as the regular Gamer Minute episodes. We'll probably get rolling on those and have those release every couple weeks or every week, whatever format we decide. But I think that's a cool show. I have a friend, Andrew, who I'm kind of trying to get him to do a show about pop figures.
Yes.
Because he loves them some pops. Dude, he has every Pokemon pop they've ever released. He has all of them. All of them.
So he spent a couple grand.
Easy. I mean, dude went out and toured the facility, like where they make them in San Francisco, and has video of that tour. Like, so I've been trying to get him to be like, hey, let me have it so we can edit it and put it out on the show. Because I think it would be a cool show, and I think people would really love it.
You said it's in San Francisco?
Yeah.
Oh, let me write that down.
Yeah. It's like Rice-A-Roni. It is the San Francisco treat. But we've got a lot of great ideas, a lot of new shows. There's possibility of doing a show called The OGs, which I'm super excited about. And that's one for me. I'm like, original games, old school games, old coin-op arcade games. Like, if I go to the arcade, what is this game? Have I ever played it? Have we played it? Basically put it out there. Like, these are the OGs. These are the games that really got us into it. The OGs right there. Miss Pac-Man, it's the SNES, NES, like Atari. What really got us into that? Gamer Girl says, I'm in the JROTC drill team. That's another thing that gets my mind. Yes. So that's good. No, that's it. But I was in marching band growing up. Like, that was my thing. Yeah, right. Actually, I thought of you the other day. No, it was this morning. So I was on my way to work this morning, and "Lose My Breath" by Destiny's Child came on, and it has that opening.
Lose my breath.
It has that opening drum line with University of Michigan drum line at the beginning with their cadence. That made me think of you this morning. I was like, oh, bro, like, yeah. So we're looking at all kinds of different show ideas, talking about all kinds of different topics. I love the idea of the OGs. I think that's one of my favorite ideas that we have. Monday morning news with the Gamer Minute, so a little bit longer show. Gamer Girl has a competition December 4th. So that's like 2 weeks away. Yeah. So funny story, in that weekend, I'll actually be in Orlando because my oldest is playing in the National Soccer League in Orlando that weekend. So that'll be a busy weekend, it looks like.
Right, and I'll be here in my gamer chair.
Hey, if you don't think I'm bringing the Switch with me, you crazy. It's gonna happen.
I already know. And speaking of that, she says Junior ROTC gaming and the USO, because the USO does a lot of stuff for the armed forces.
Yep.
So yeah, we definitely have to have a show about that. But shout out to the troops.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a lot of things that we're talking about. I want to give a quick shout out to Esports Furniture. Ew, that is not a good looking logo. It did not load correctly. But Esports Furniture, if you go to their website and use the code GameRoom13, you can save money on your new esports stuffs. Be sure to head out there and take care of that. If you have any needs for Esports Furniture, that's some place that really does help us out. We get a portion of every sale. So up in the corner there, Esports Furniture, head to that website. They've got a bunch of stuff on sale for Black Friday.
I'm going now.
Oh, excuse me. But yeah, so, and you can use the code GameRoom13, and that'll save you some cash money.
Some moolah.
Yeah, so Esports Furniture.
Look up the L-shaped desk for wow.
Esportsfurniturestore.com is the website. They got up to 40% off on some stuff. Just use the GameRoom13. We'll have a new code for future episodes that'll be Gamer Minute related. But for right now, that's our code.
Yeah, they got some dope stuff.
Yeah, they got some really cool stuff. But we're working on some new partnerships as well. So, continue to check back. We'll have all kinds of cool things going on. Our usual shows will be about 30 minutes. Taste Hot or Not episodes will be shorter. The Monday shows will be shorter. The daily shows will be super short. They're going to just basically be a rundown of all the news in gaming as fast as we can do it
for
the day. So, we'll start your Monday off with anything that had happened over the weekend, so you get those minutes. But in general, all these different shows, we're going to have a bunch of different people involved, just trying to get friends, neighbors, countrymen. Lend me your ears.
Gamer Girl said, "Do we watch Dragon Ball Z?" Hold that thought. Let me show you something.
I don't. Tay does. That is for sure. I am not a huge anime fan, although I know a lot of people are. I do not get it. But I know he's super into it. It's your water bottle?
So I got my water bottle. Got it from your old job.
Oh yeah.
And of course, the GameStop exclusive. My noodle bowl.
A ramen bowl. That came with chopsticks too, didn't it?
Yes, sir.
That's the one that has like the ceramic chopsticks.
Yeah. So like, I've been watching Dragon Ball Z since I guess, was introduced to the United States because it's been out for years.
Right.
The original Dragon Ball. So, yeah.
All right. So, Gamer Girl, thanks for swinging by. She says it looks amazing. We appreciate you watching tonight. Short show. We're just following up after our other show. Again, we'll have the St. Jude Play Live stuff up and going here soon. Be sure to check out Esports Furniture this weekend. They have some great deals going on. And we will see you guys all here very, very soon. Dr. Witnesser just retweeted this show, or like this tweet. Alyssa retweeted. Thank you for your support. Those of you that are out there on Twitter that are pimping the show as we continue to keep going. Gamer Girl, thank you for the follow again. And when we go live next time, we'll be here. Same bat time, same bat channel, as I say all the time.
Yep.
But yeah, so we'll see you soon, and that's going to be
enjoy the holiday. Yeah,
enjoy your holidays. Enjoy your holidays for sure. We just had somebody pop in on Facebook, so right at the end here, but the replay will be available for everybody on Facebook here in just a second. Again, keep an eye out on social medias for our St. Jude Play Live campaign and our fundraising tool for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And don't miss out on the IGN broadcast, which we're not really a part of, but I think it's a big deal. Again, you can find that in the chat, but IGN.com has for the Friendsgiving stream that's going to be live on the 30th. So a week from yesterday, but important to give them support as they talk about No Kid Hungry and raise money for that. So again, thanks everybody for watching tonight, and we will see you all very, very soon with all kinds of new content. And we appreciate you swinging by tonight. So we will see y'all next time.